So have you ever gotten back from a shoot and plugged your SD card into the computer and just thought, where should I put this footage? Should I leave it in the SD card? Should I bring it into my documents folder? Should I bring it into my external hard drive? Should I leave it in my internal hard drive? If you've had any of these questions before, you're not alone, because I did not know what to do with footage and assets for the longest time. My projects were so disorganized. I had some projects in the documents folder, I had some projects in the downloads folder, I had some projects in the desktop, and it was just all over the place with almost no folders at all on my computer, and it was just a big mess. And I worked like that for the longest time. I got stuff done, and I'm not saying that you can't do work like if you're not organized, but it's just a lot easier, and you're also going to save a lot of space on your hard drive, because if you have all this media all over your computer, how are you going to delete stuff if you don't know where it is? You need to have some sort of organization. And this might seem like a boring thing at first, but I actually quite like it, because it just makes me feel a lot more productive when I have like an organized computer and just ready to work and a lot more professional. It's just overall great to have an organized structure. So let's first start as folder structures. Now, folder structures are something that's kind of completely up to you on how you want to organize your folder structure and how you want your folder structure to look. Now, I'm not saying my folder structure is the best way to do it, and I definitely don't think that. And I'm actually going to leave links down below to 2 other folder structures that I think are just as good as, if not better, than mine. And I'm also going to leave links to my folder structure if you wish to download mine. Now, folder structures are basically kind of what it sounds like. They're basically just structures of folders that allow you to get a little bit more organized. I have 4 big folders, and that's archive files, QuinnFilms behind the scenes, QuinnFilms Studio, and asset library. Let's first start at archive files. Now, archive files, pretty self-explanatory, stuff that I've already made, and that's where all the finished media goes. Now, it used to all go there. Lately, I've been kind of just keeping the files where they originally were, like in the behind the scenes folder or the QuinnFilms Studio folder, just because I find it a little bit more easier that way. But in the archive files, I do have some stuff like old thumbnails, projects that I made when I was like a kid, like a young kid, that I kind of want to, look back at some years and just think, wow, I was so bad back then, and stuff like that. I don't just generally keep new stuff in the archive files just because I don't really want to archive them. I just like to have them in their original folders, and it's just easier to find, and that way I don't have to constantly be moving files to the archive when they're done. Now, what do I keep? This is a very interesting question, and it's kind of, some people like to delete everything when they're done it, some people like to delete half of it, some people like to delete all of it, which is, I definitely wouldn't advise that. Basically, what I do keep is I keep the finished output. I think it's really important to keep the finished output, because then I don't have to download it from YouTube again. I just like to have it on my computer. On the finished output, I'll have my Final Cut library, but I delete all the proxy media and all the render files in it. So it ends up going from like 100 gigabytes down to 20. It doesn't keep up much space at all. And I'll also have some key clips, like some key footage, some key B-roll. And actually what I've been doing recently is moving my B-roll into the asset library, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. For short films, I sometimes make a sequel to those short films, so I keep most of the stuff, most of the visual effects shots. If I had a situation where I deleted everything once and I needed to use it later, and it was just a big headache because I had to re-find all those files from their originality and had to grow them up again, and it actually kind of, I think, didn't make the short film as good as I hoped. So I generally keep everything when I'm doing a short film. So QuinnFilms behind the scenes videos, I don't generally keep anything because I don't use most of the stuff, but some B-roll that I do reuse. Now, the folder structure that I make is basically, I make a folder structure called whatever the project is. That's kind of the master file, master folder. That inside that I'll have assets and footage. Those are the only 2 folders that I keep. A lot of people have like tons of folders. I don't really like just looking at a whole bunch of folders. I like, looking at minimal amount of folders. I like to keep it nice and clean. Inside of assets, I'll have everything that wasn't filmed. So music, sound effects, graphic effects, everything like that. Now, inside the footage folder, I'll have broken up into different cameras. Like I'll have the Blackmagic, I'll have my Sony camera, I'll have my Canon camera, I'll have my iPhone, all kind of broken up in there. You can also break it up into like A cam, C cam, B cam, and all that stuff. But I like to kind of have it be the names of the cameras because I'd like to keep it nice and easy for you to remember. I'm not using the asset folder very much these days because I've actually been getting stuff from my asset library. So I've been kind of building up my asset library in the past few months. And basically what an asset library is it's gonna have all your assets that you use 99.9% of the time. So let's say music that you use a lot. So I'll keep all the music that I use for these behind the scenes videos and I'll save it in the asset library because I might use it again. And that way it actually keeps a kind of a theme to my videos that I really like. When I don't get new music each time, I can reuse some music and stuff like that. Also keep trailer music in there, so if I'm doing a trailer for my short film, sometimes I'll reuse trailer music. I don't like to do it all the time just because I like each trailer to feel different, but sometimes I will. And I'll just keep all my music in there because it's nice to keep music. You might need it later. So yeah. I'll also keep all my graphic effects that I will use a lot, like let's say the link in the description sign that I've been using a little bit, or subscribe, like and subscribe, all that stuff that I'm going to need again so I don't have to re-download it. And also it's in a convenient place in the asset library. Now that's pretty much what I do to kind of organize my files. Now, this video, I've been wanting to do for quite a while now, but I kind of did it a little bit in my Final Cut for Beginners video, which I'm gonna leave in the description. But basically, this video was kind of just getting into the nitty-gritty of all this, like the how I organize my files and all that stuff. So yeah, this video, I hope you liked the video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that stuff, and always remember to have a nice day. Hope you're already having a nice day. Is that it? I'm just trying to think, is that all that I have to say? I think that's it.